Oh, yeah. First shot. First shot. I can't believe it. You know, I want to start off this video by identifying rattlesnakes. Understand the difference between a rattlesnake and a gopher snake. I met a really interesting person the other day who had some really cool tattoos, and she was part of a parks department that had me go on a consultation out at this park. This is in Redwood City. And the problem is many of their redwood trees are dead or dying. So she wanted to know what was going on. There's a very serious problem now that is attacking many of the conifers, including the redwoods. And in this case, it's being referred to as redwood canker. Many people believe that it's a type of Botryopsferia dothidea, and it gets into the system of the tree and causes it to decline. This tree over here was actually a transplanted tree, which explains why it's not doing quite as well, but it's got a different kind of decline going on there. Hopefully that one will recover. But look off in the distance at some of the healthier redwoods, and you can see over on the left here, this whole area is not doing very well at all. Now, the park does get a fair amount of water, but there's also been some development in this park, so it's kind of a combination of problems. Learning to recognize this disease from looking at the bark is very difficult. Sometimes you'll see a little bit of a swelling under the bark, and the way it acts is it kind of clogs up all the transport tubes, and you get these little swellings where the pitch actually pools up underneath the bark, and if it's bad enough, it'll often crack the bark, and you'll see little lesions of the yellow sap running down the trunk. There's another one. That one's not totally dead, but you know, it's not long for this world. So my recommendation here is to get rid of all of these dead and diseased trees to hopefully give the rest of the trees a chance. Unfortunately, there isn't any cure for this problem. All you can do is help the trees to be as healthy as possible, but you shouldn't fertilize the trees. You shouldn't overdo them. You shouldn't over prune them. It's really a tough call. There's really no good answer, but because there are so many other healthy redwoods in this park, you know, if they can get rid of the ones that are in decline and are infected, let's hope that will allow the remaining redwood trees to hang in there. You can imagine Redwood City really appreciates its redwood trees. And that being said, Redwood City is at a low elevation, and it's not a redwood environment. It's not a natural redwood environment. These trees belong up in the mountains, up in the Santa Cruz Mountains or in the high Sierras, typically at an elevation between 2,000 and 2,600, 2,700 feet. And hopefully they'll get some fog and they get some natural moisture. But they are also trees that like to grow in tight environments. You know, the roots connect, and there's a interconnectivity that is very, very important. The natural mulch that the redwood trees drop on the ground is also very important. And you can imagine in a park environment, the natural mulch gets blown away and often is replaced by grass or, in some cases, hardscaping or playground type of environments. So, what do? I know this is a sad case. There's going to be a lot of people that are really upset at this whole situation. But let's move on to another job. I'm forever talking to people about the benefits of using wood chips for mulch. And so often people will buy, decorative mulch, the real pretty stuff. Either dyed mulch or more often than not, like a redwood type bark mulch.
So let me get back to the benefits of mulch. First off, it does help retain moisture so you don't have to water as often. But just as important, maybe even more important, as the biomass breaks down, it improves the quality of the soil. It makes the soil more fertile. It makes it available for the roots to work properly. And that is so important. And so many of my clients, their gardeners constantly blow away all the natural mulch. And that is just wrong. You clean up what the trees need and the plants need, and you make it all sterile, and then you come back in and water, and then some people water at the wrong time of the day. You don't water in the daytime. You water in the early morning or at night when it's going to seep into the soil and not evaporate. So there's so many things that you can do to save water, but also there are intelligent decisions on how to improve the quality of your landscape. We're doing a big cleanup job today where the backyard is totally overgrown. It's turned into just a complete and total mess. We've taken out dozens of small trees, and as you can see, we've left a few of them out here. There's this one big, beautiful valley oak, but unfortunately over there we've got an ivy monster. The ivy has completely grown up and eaten this little tree over here, and if we don't clear some of this stuff out, they won't have a yard anymore. They do have a little bit of not growing space, but I wanted to talk about mulch some more. I brought in some mulch and put it around the base of this Japanese maple. It actually needs more. If they could spread the mulch out here as well, that would help out also. I took out tons of big dead branches on this tree. And if you look at it, it's only got about half of the foliage, or maybe not even half, maybe 40% of the foliage that a Japanese maple of this size should have. Got a beautiful old orange tree. We took out so much dead on this tree. I'm surprised it's still hanging in there. This tree has only got about 20% of the foliage that it should have. So I brought in mulch, and I'm watering. I'm putting some water in here. I'm trying to deep water so this tree will have a chance. I recommended that they build a berm, and they put these bricks around here, which is not really a berm, but it is a good backdrop for adding the dirt, because this is on a slope here, so any water that they put will naturally flow downhill. Can contain it. And a lot of times, when I tell people to water their trees, they do this. They put the water right on the trunk. And that's really not where the tree absorbs water. The tree absorbs water out under the drip line, where all the absorbing roots are, all the fine hairs. And if you really want to do your plants a favor and water them where they will actually use the water. So I'm going to let the water run for probably about 45 minutes to an hour here and really deep saturate it. And hopefully with the chips in the air, maybe this tree will have a chance. I hope so. I'm just going to kind of keep moving it around. Realistically, I should put chips all the way up underneath the deck up here as well. Okay, do you see the water right there? I put it in an area and you can see what happens. It just runs down the hill. By putting the chips down, it does help in distributing the water a little bit better, because it soaks into the chips and kind of works its way down a little bit slower. But if you can create a little bit more of a level here, that would help out immensely.
All right, I want to quickly explain this. Any climber understands what happened here. The flip line was tossed over a branch, and the metal piece came down and hit him in the lip. Sometimes when you pull your flip line over a branch, the metal clip comes down and hits you in the face. This has happened to me. It's happened to a lot of my friends, and I think that if you've been doing it long enough, it's going to happen to you. So, and at the end of the job, I clicked a still. If you look over on the left-hand side, you see that small tree that's kind of leaning off the picture. That was the ivy monster. We were able to get all the ivy off of it with minimal damage to the trunk. And that's hard to do. I gave some firewood to a friend from England, and he stacked it in a round circle. The center is actually hollow, and then he topped it off with some white birch. I'm impressed.